This is class 10th employability skills. Code is 402. Unit number 5, green skills we are talking about. Sustainable development. The development which persists. The environment, everything around us is environment. Whatever you see, whatever you feel is environment. So what you see, what you don't see, this all affect all aspects of our life. Everyone is affected by them and they are affected by us. For example, we are living in the city, so we are not growing any crop. So we get food from the nearby villages, surrounding villages, because this is city. These are different villages or rural areas from where we get actual food, supplies. And these rural areas, they are dependent on what? For forest, for grassland, a very big patch where only grass is there. The water resources like rivers. If you are on the seaside, it's seashore. And for all these resources like water, fuel, wood as a fuel and fodder, so they are also dependent on the rural areas are also, or the people there are dependent on these. So actually we are using natural resources directly or indirectly for food. What nature gives us. Natural resources are those resources which Mother Nature gives us. So as I'm saying, everything around us, it is environment, Paryavaran. But the problem is, the thing is that over the years, these so many years when we actually started our economic development and it got boom with the industrial revolution. So economic development, that is where people get good salary or the economy of a country or a society is good. The quality of life becomes better. So economic development is the development of people and the country. Because of this, the environmental pollution has increased. Pollution is something or simply means those things which are not good for your health or environment. It is bad. Waste. So this pollution, that is making good things filthy. For example, if we introduce for growing crop, hybrid crops. We also use the pesticides and the fertilizers. So in order to grow food more quickly and in a faster manner, we use hybrid crop, fertilizer, pesticide. And this is very good because very good crops we are growing. But the consequences, the other side of the coin is, this is leading to soil and environmental degradation. That is, this is the lower graph, or you can say because of this way of cropping, everything is getting wasted or spoiled or polluted. So what we need to plan to use these resources, natural resources, in sustainable manner. Sustainable manner, because not only we want resources, we have to keep it for our future generations also. The kids, the people, the next generation, all those who are coming after us, they also have equal right on the resources we have. That is how you, your son, his son, this is how the life goes. So it has to be sustainable development, sustainable lifestyle, sustainable eating, sustainable way of looking at the things, so that we keep our environment clean and intact. Sustainable development, सतत विकास की प्रक्रिया. So we are cutting the tree, that is very true. But are we planting the trees? No. We don't care. We just want our things. Are we saving the water resources? No, we are polluting it. We are just polluting it. We are not saving the water resources. See, you are washing your car, you are enjoying water splash, swimming pool, etc. But are we polluting it? Do we think about pollution? No. See, wood and petrol, these are the fuel, or if they are used as a fuel, they don't give us clean energy. Are we thinking of a clean energy? Because wood and petrol, they are not clean energy. They create a lot of pollution. So we are not thinking about clean energy. We are adding to pollution: carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide. There are so many gases which are harmful not only for humans but for plants, for animals, flora and fauna. So are we thinking about solar energy? Are we thinking about wind energy? Are we thinking about that? Not that much. So whatever we are trying to take from the mother nature, are we giving it back so that the next generation, our kids, they also may survive? That is air, water, soil, which all is available to us. Are we using them indiscriminately, ruthlessly, without leaving anything for our kids to come so that they may also get air, water, soil? Greta Thunberg said a very good line. She was very angry. She said, "How dare you?" That is all the leaders. She said, "How dare you? We are kids. We also have equal right on the resources of this world. You cannot only finish." She's just 13, 14 years of age, Greta Thunberg. Okay? So we are just thinking about immediate development. We are not thinking about future. We are not talking about long-term development. So long-term development, sustainable development, though that kind of development in which we think about future. We think that okay, resources which we are using can be employed, can be used, can be remaining for our generation. We cannot just say done and dusted, let's live life king size. No. So what is sustainable development? Sustainable development is that kind of development in the economy, in every aspect of our life, that is, it will satisfy your need, present need, but it should not compromise the need of the future generation. That is, though we are developing, but that development should not eat up, should not finish the resources which we have right now. It is always good you have a cycle, then you have a scooter, then you have a car, even you can have an aircraft. No problem with that. Economic growth can be there for everyone. But we just need to care about environment and the social well-being, because if we eat up everything, what will be there for the future? This is sustainable development. That is, do whatever today so that your next generation also gets equal share. That is, if you're 100, just eat 90 and give it this 10 and give 90 to your future generation. Then he can give other good part to the other next generation. So what is the importance of sustainable development? Why it is important? Why we are talking about this? See, economic development in any way. Economy is all about money. Money is in a circle. It's just in a circle roaming around and people are getting rich. So in this economic development, we are using resources. Because resources, if we live, we have to use up the resources. But the problem is the pace, the speed in which we are using up these resources. We are not leaving it for the future generation. So because we are using it or eating up so fast, today the environmental problem which we are facing global warming. We are facing a lot of carbon dioxide. We are also witnessing the ozone depletion. Glaciers are, because of the warm atmosphere, they are melting. So just imagine what will happen after 10, 20, 50 years. It will be worse than what we are seeing. See, population increment is not bad. Okay. Because population means good hand, good skill, But the problem is over increasing population when the resources are not there, and the income if it is increasing. So what you are doing? When the people are too much and they have good money, they will be consuming so many things. They will be consuming actually natural resources, petrol, diesel. They will take millions of years to be recovered, to come again, to be made again. So though the nature is giving us this petrol and diesel, but if you use it with the pace today, nothing will be there. So what your next generation will get? They will not get petrol or diesel. So this population and income, it is directly related to the consumption of good. Population increases, consumption increases. Consumption of what? Natural resources. So the production will, when you are eating up the, or if you are consuming the resources, it will be produced by someone. So there will be some industry company who is going to produce it also, and they have to use the natural resources for that only. So society has to change the mindset. Society have to change the strategy of development which we have just now, so that we do not destroy the environment. I'm not saying we are against the development, but the strategy has to be changed. And this can only be done when every single person on this globe knows about this sustainable development and sustainable lifestyle. There are a group of people who came up and said that RA jungle, RA forest will not be cut. Okay. So these people know what is the utility, what is the importance of forest. In a place like Mumbai, small forest is also very important because it is the breathing ground from where oxygen is coming. If we just cut it for metro, how they are going to come up? A tree takes a lot of years to come up. So this is the sustainable lifestyle everyone has to follow. That is the lifestyle, so that the resources are being left for our next generation also. Okay, because natural resources, as I said, they are limited. They are not immense, abundant. They are scarce. So the careful utilization and careful use and consumption is required, is necessary. If water is not there in your village or your city, you will use drop. But when a tap comes to your house, you will just waste the water. Even the tap is open, it is leaking. You don't care. Okay. So this is the problem with all of us. We don't understand that these all resources are so scarce that the ruthless use will hamper our next generation. So sustainable development, the definition of sustainable development is defined as development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. This is the World Commission on Environment and Development 1987 definition. You, the people who are coming after 50 years, the people who are coming after 100 years, all should get the resources. For example, farming. There are different types of farming, goat farming, fish farming. So there are so many farming. So if we use some environmental friendly methods for these farming, because basically we are growing crops or growing the livestock. Livestock means fish or goat or beef. So now this kind of farming where we are using environmental friendly ways, what will happen? The crop which we are growing, they will be good. The livestock which we are talking about, they will not be, artificially being made. That is, the human or natural system, both are saved. Because we are not in any way jeopardizing the human and natural system, because we are using only the eco-friendly methods. Because we are not using any chemicals, and all these pesticides and all these chemicals, they are adverse. They have very ill effect on soil, water, biodiversity, environment, natural resources, everywhere. The biodiversity is, in a single place you get everything. Water, air, flora, fauna, everything. So we want a place where we get everything which is created by Mother Earth, Mother Nature. So what are the problems related to the sustainable development? There are certain major problems we need to discuss, because just saying sustainable development doesn't work. We need to understand the roadblocks also. Let us start with food. Food. Everyone needs food. Can you eat internet? Can you download your chapatis or bread from internet? No. So you see here, I'm showing you the map. The rich, fertile and good land needed for the crops like the wheat, rice, lentils, etc. This is the whole area. For example, this is the area we have. Okay, for wheat and rice. What we have done, people have started making houses. Some are barren land, converted to barren land. Some are used for industries. So we have, say, 1/4 of the land which is remaining to us for wheat and resources, because we have changed the land use. Just because we need today we need to live good life. Any development authority or the government or the single individual. So this only land is remaining all over the world. So you see the change. You can witness the change. And even the soil which is remaining, the nutrients are depleted, because we are growing crops in an adverse manner, means not eco-friendly manner. Because the chemicals we are using, it is spoiling the soil. Any chemical, this is just for immediate growing of crop. But we don't think that this chemical is now in our food chain, which we are going to eat. The animals are going to eat anyways. So this is the problem. This is the first major problem. Second is water. See here, this is the situation in almost every developing country. Because the water is very less. If you go up to the sky and you see our globe, our earth, it is a blue planet. That means we need to have drinking and this good water. So the fresh water which we have for drinking and whatever we have put all the garbage here, mostly plastics. So we have polluted it. See, 100% water is there. Only 0.3% is there, because 3% is the fresh water. 2.7% is glacier. You cannot eat ice. Only 0.3% of fresh water is available for us to drink. Blue planet, our earth is a blue planet, and the water is still scarce. Only 0.3% of 100% water is available on the globe. We can eat all the billion. How many people we are? More than, say, 2 billions are in India, and this are only China. You can understand. Now fuel. Tree we are cutting because we need wood. Why we need wood? Because we want to construct homes and furniture. We are cutting them ruthlessly. So we are cutting these because just listen. A tree will grow in how many years? 5 years, 10 years? But we just cut them. And these trees are lifeline for our being. They will take carbon dioxide, gives oxygen. They will stop soil erosion. They will do everything which is good for our living, for flora, fauna. These are our lives. But we are just cutting. So what you see here today, the extreme weather, the floods are coming, extreme cold and heat. We have tsunamis. We have the climate which was never seen. This is because of all these things which we are doing. These are affecting the people, actually affecting the people. This is not now the literature. This is what we are seeing in our lives. So the problems related to sustainable development, what we just saw was regarding food, water, fuel. You see how much land we have used for other purposes. Water, we have put all the garbages, and then we are cutting the trees, which are the oxygen provider for our globe. So food, water, fuel. Environmental friendly, that is anything which is not harming the environment. So what are the ways? What are the processes or techniques in order to generate energy. Because if we use any kind of energy right now, it will produce pollution and all those global warming, etc. So the sun is unlimited. Why don't we use solar energy? So this is an example of India only. Charanka also you can say. This is in Gujarat. This is a solar park. So this is a village. This land is or was a barren land. It has wild vegetation. So here a mega solar power plant of 600 megawatt. This is a huge number in electricity production. I'll tell you the latest. It is producing 790 megawatt. This much of energy is produced. So what happened with this? The dependence on the fossil fuels like the petroleum, like the diesels and the natural gas, the dependence has decreased in Gujarat. Because we are not using these, which are producing all the harmful content for the environment. So now solar energy is as clean as you can think. So what is the benefit? The people who are involved in this, they have got a very good source of income. Now they have a source of livelihood, and also we are helping our future generation. Though this place is quite huge, it takes a lot of space, but still this worth, because this is going to help us in next 40-50 years. If I can tell you about Cochin airport, Kochi, this or the most of these Kerala airports, one of them is totally solar energy provided, okay, equipped. So sustainable development essentially includes reducing the excessive overuse of resources and then enhancing the conservation of resource. That is, we have to use it less and conserve also. Whichever waste material we are producing, we have to recycle it and reuse it. Triple R, right? So reuse, recycle, always. And then scientific management of renewable resources. In petrol, we are mixing ethanol. So even if it is 10%, 20%, most of the energy we are saving. So these are the bioresources, biofuels. We need to apply the scientific management techniques and the latest technologies. And the most important is planting more trees. Trees gives you everything. It doesn't take anything from us. It is naturally growing. We have these concrete jungles. So just try that we have trees in between them, grassy patches. And also we have to use the non-biodegradable material. We have to use the environmental friendly material. Like we are using plastic. Plastic is everywhere. Now you find plastic in the sea, oceans also. We have to use the technologies, employ those technologies which are helpful and friendly to the environment. And then we have to use efficiently with our mind use of resources. SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. So these are certain points and goals aim. So what you are using natural resources today, use it so that your kid also gets a pretty good share of it. So these are the goals being decided, when worldwide people got together, the leaders got together. So this is United Nations work. So this is a universal call to everyone around the globe to end the poverty, to protect our planet, Mother Nature, to make sure that everyone is in peace, whether it is Syria, whether it is any other place like Congo. We need prosperity for everyone on this globe. We want good life. So this SDGs, this was launched at the United Nations Sustainable Development Summit in New York. You can assume there was a meeting in September 2015. And these SDGs were decided. So it was thinking about 2030, after 15 years, how do we want in this world to be? So these are agenda, these are points. There are actually 17 targets, 17th point to be taken care, to be atmasad, what we say, to be in your life. So the countries have to work out, the leaders have to work out to imbibe these 17 SDGs and to achieve them also. Okay, so this 17 SDGs has various aspects covered, mainly all the issues. Please remember her name. She is Mrs. Brundtland. How she coined this word and this came into existence, sustainable development. So these 17 SDGs were all the points which are affecting either business, government, or society where we live. So every aspect, every issue which is affecting all these, right? These 17 points are made with utmost care affecting this. So the poverty, most of the world is poverty, under poverty. They are not getting even $1 per day. Gender inequality is everywhere, mostly which we see in the subcontinent area. The water we are misusing, the energy which we are using is harmful for the globe. The climate change, like the global warming, anytime flood we have, anytime we have the drought, and the biodiversity. So countries have to make policies, they have to make rules and regulation, because we need to promote sustainable systems for all the economic sectors. And we need to provide, that is the government has to provide. You cannot just say, oh, you do this, 17 points are there. You have to provide the framework, you have to provide the facilities, the funds, the amount. So you have to provide a secure and affordable, because you need a affordable and sustainable economy. For that, these 17 points are the guidelines, they are the guiding, say, you can say fulcrum framework. So these are the 17 points which I am talking about. So if you and me, we want to be good for the environment, so we need to be educated, and we need to be self-aware. So there has to be awareness also and willingness also. Okay, that is, we do today and we think of our future. These are our kids. We are living for them. We have to leave also something for them. So either it is at your home, your school, workplace, you need to teach people, you need to let them understand how they can be a responsible citizen, not only for them, but for the society, but for the environment, but for the whole world. 17 SDGs everyone has to keep in mind, not only a single person, but the government, the society, the economic sector, industries, everyone. Think of our future, think of our kids. So let me tell you about sustainable development initiatives. There are people we need to cherish, respect. For example, in Mangalore. Mangalore is a very beautiful city in Karnataka. I have been to that place, very nice place. So Municipal Corporation of Mangalore, they banned the plastics. So what happened? When the plastics were not there, people maybe black marketing it or whatever things were going on, they have to use something else. So now came Ashwasth Hegde. He is Ashwasth Hegde. He made everyone Ashwasth feel comfortable. Why? Because he is an innovator, he is an entrepreneur, and he found an eco-friendly alternative to this plastic, because plastic was banned. So he made something which is very, very cherishable and respectable and honored, because he made 100% biodegradable bag. That is the plastic bag which we take, it will never decompose for life. Million years it will take. But this bag, if you put it inside hot water, even if you don't want, you just decompose it, it will be decomposed by natural environment. So this is not only being used in our country, it's used everywhere, almost every country now. So I want you to be Ashwasth Hegde. And now I'll tell you about Narayana P. Sapati. Now he saw that in all the Shadi programs, festivals, cultural programs, because India is full of culture. So disposable glass, cup, plates we use, either it is made up of paper or plastic. Now when you just throw it, what will happen? We have to cut trees to make these, or the plastic will be there forever. So he made a cutlery, he made plastic, these spoons, forks, cutlery he made out of a grain we eat. So either if you are eating, you can eat this spoon finally, or you can just throw it, it will decompose by itself naturally, and it will enrich the soil as well. It will enhance the quality of soil. So this is how Narayan P. Sapati and Ashwas Hegde has done. I want you to be one of them. Sustainable processes. So whatever you do should be sustainable. For example, organic farming, vermicomposting, rainwater harvesting, these are all the important steps for preserving the environment. If you are doing organic farming, what is organic farming? As a farmer, you are not using any type of chemical pesticides or insecticide or fertilizer, anything. Whatever you are using is organic. It will not affect the plant, it will not affect the soil, it will not affect the food chain. So you are, as a farmer, not using any kind of chemical. For example, cow dung. This is the most important naturally organic farming material. So when you use this cow dung and many more like vermicomposting, etc., these are chemical free crops. It will be helpful for your body, and it will also maintain the soil quality, because the chemical will just devastate. It has very adverse effect on the soil. Now you see here, what do you see? The quechua. These are wormy, and these wormies or these quechuas are making the cow dung to a very good fine kind of fertilizer or the compost. You don't have to do anything. These insect will do. Rain is everywhere, but we are dependent on monsoon. There are various places where water is only for some months or some days. India is a monsoon kind of environment, or you can say weather condition. So why not to save this water? Why not to use it for other purposes like washing, like cleaning utensils, or even taking bath? Now let us take the question and answer here. Whatever we have learned, how many sustainable development goals are given by the United Nations? As I said, United Nations, there was a summit in New York in 2015, and they decided 17 sustainable development goals, including poverty, including environment, including the peace for all. Everything was affecting each and every person of the society, right? So this is 17 number of SDGs were being framed there. Choose the options which define sustainable development. So taking care of ourselves and also the future generation, the people, the kids who are going to come after us. So, you want them to live, so leave something for them. So if you have 4 chapatis, eat 2 chapatis and leave for them. That is, not chapatis, but I'm just giving you an idea. You have to leave natural resources for them. Which organization has made the Sustainable Development Goals? United Nations. As I just said, 2015 summit. Brundtland, madam, you need to remember, because she coined these words, sustainable development. Now let us take the subjective question. What is the meaning of sustainable development, and what do you think the United Nations has made the 17 Sustainable Development Goals? So sustainable development is the development that satisfies the need of the present, you and me, without compromising the capacity of the future generation, like our kids and their kids. Guaranteeing the balance between economic growth. We want economic growth, we want economic development, but we need to take care of the environment and also the social well-being of every individual on this globe. Don't eat today so that it is not remaining for the next generation. Why do you think these United Nations has made the 17 SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals? See, this 17 SDGs, whether it is business, industry, government, society, there are issues which are affecting us. It is poverty, it is peace, it's food, it's environment, it's weather, it's global warming. We are talking about men and women. Why we are not talking about the transgenders? Why we are not talking about gender equality? Why we are not talking about women? Why we are not talking about water? It's just 0.3% of 100%. Climate change is there. We are polluting the world. How our kids are going to live? Carbon dioxide, oxygen, ozone layer has a hole. So these things are the thought. Everyone has to understand. Only the United Nations is not going to work for that. You and me has to do. Okay. So the rules and regulation needs to be made for on the basis of 17 SDGs, because we want the economic development, but we don't want it at the cost of our lives, our future life. We need to think about our kids. Okay. Our role in sustainable development. So as an individual, as a responsible citizen, and a person in this globe planet, what is our responsibilities? What are we about to do for sustainable development? Our role in sustainable development, what will be our act, how we are responsible, and how we are going to contain this sustainable development. So first thing is that the way population is increasing and the economic development is taking place, because of this, our consumption of natural resources has increased, because natural resources are needed for anything what we make, everything what we make to consume. For example, how do we get paper? Without cutting tree, how do we get paper? So we have to cut down trees to get paper. So these are natural resources, because we are consuming the paper. We are consuming the newspapers. So these are just because of increase in the population and also the economic development. Along with this, the population has a role. That is, if the population is higher, people are high, or the numbers are higher, they will need more food to eat, energy, LPG, CNG, petroleum, because people will be traveling then. And there are so many things which are economically dependent on them, and they are dependent on economically on them. Water, our body is made up of water mainly. For everything we need water. So when we grow crop, what do? The soil nutrients, they are consumed or they are depleted. For example, if you're growing something, what will happen? Nothing. Say, for example, you're growing anything, grain, some calcium is coming or some iron is coming. From where it is coming? From the soil. So whenever a soil is used to grow crop, that soil loses its power, its nutrients, its minerals. So it will not be usable further until it gets it back. So this soil becomes unusable. I'll show a picture of that. Now you want to grow something else on this crop. That crop may grow, but the nutritive power of that or content of that crop will not be that. Especially the fossil fuels which we are using. Fossil fuels? Millions of years back, animals and the plants, when they died, they were covered by the rocks and the soil. And because of the temperature, humidity, pressure, and chemical reaction, they finally converted to the oil and the crude oil basically, and the gas. Coal. This coal is coming from tree only. So this crude oil is giving us petrol, diesel, natural gas. So coal, oil, natural gas, these are all fossil fuels and they are going to be depleted. They are naturally occurring, but their amount is limited. We are going to face the scarcity of these. So this picture you see, this is how the depletion of soil takes place. So these natural resources, we need to conserve or use them wisely in efficient manner, in sustainable manner. What about economic development? For that we need factories, industries. And these factories and industries, they in turn, they pollute the air because they produce smoke, they produce gaseous material that are very, very harmful to us. Mostly the water in the developing country, they just go untreated to the water. So these chimneys of various industries you might have seen, especially the thermal power plant and the other industries, you will face respiratory problems. But have you ever thought about the animals? Have you thought about those living below water? That is the marine life. Because of smoke, because of smog, because of various toxic materials in the air, which are mixed with the air and then we breathe. Whatever garbage is produced, whether it is home garbage or the industrial garbage, we just dump them into landfills. If you go or if you enter Delhi from the Uttarakhand side or the UP side, you will see there is a big mountain. First, when I saw, it was a mountain. But then I saw a lot of, the birds flying over it. And it is so big. It's like a huge, huge mountain. It is not a mountain. It is dump. It is garbage. So we are filling the land with the garbage. The land will be garbage because the garbage are untreated. And the diseases and the germs, everything will come because of that only. Because we are going to live in an unhealthy environment. Because even we are living in a good environment, the water can come anywhere. The effect can come anywhere. Sewage, that is human excreta, whatever we dump, what will happen? We dump it into seas and lakes. Nor it is harmful for the marine life. It is harmful for us in any way because it will be in our food chain. The fish, the aquatic plant, animals, marine life. This we are dumping without even thinking. We are dumping hot water. So this shows what we are doing. We are taking everything from the nature, but we are not giving it back. We are doing nothing to return anything to the nature. We are just feeding on it. Okay. So natural resources will get over. They are limited. We know that. What will happen to our future generation? What will happen to your kid? What will happen to your kid's kid? For example, just take an example. Coal, we have 1 kg limited all over the world. This is only one. So if we eat or use 0.9, 0.1 will be kg will be left. How our future generation will survive? So I'll give you some example of initiative. People are doing that. We are not doing everything wrong. For example, when Lalu Prasad Yadav, the Rashtriya Janata Dal Supremo in Bihar, he became a railway minister and he said, in railways, Indian railways, they said, okay, now we are going to use kulhars. Kulhars are just the cup made up of clay, soil. So the plastic and paper cups, they got replaced by the kulhars. Even if you go to Varanasi and Raebareli today, you'll see that. See, this kid is drinking using the plastic or paper cups, which is not advisable. Plastic is dangerous. It has all the chemicals. And paper cups, paper will come only because of when we cut the trees. So this is our tradition. We were drinking tea for years, decades in kulhars. Now we have got bigger. We have money. So we don't want kulhar. So if we use kulhar or any kind of this traditional way, what will we do? We will reduce the tree cutting. Because these tree, only when they are cut, they will make paper. So you don't have to cut tree for paper. So the kulhar or anything which is natural, which is made by the people like potters, they will add up to the economic development. That is, they will have some role in the economy. And then the plastic waste, because if you drink in plastic and paper cups, you are going to throw it. And that will be a plastic waste that will be there for millions of years. That is not biodegradable. So this will reduce the plastic waste. So slight change can help. So what is our role towards sustainable development? See, the big people, United Nations, our leaders, they sat and they had they sat together, made 17 SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. They deliberated. So these all 17 points, these are all action to nations. They have to work. They have to find solutions. They have to make rules and guidelines in order to remove poverty, in order to remove hunger, give good health, give quality education to the people of their country. That is not only one country has to do, everyone has to do, because even if China or India are not doing, half of the population is here only. We are 1.38 crores. China is around 1.45. So around 2 billion. We Indians are 2. The whole world population is 6 billion, and we are 2 billions and plus. So even if we are not doing, we are not working on this sustainable development goals, there is no point that even if the others are doing, because we have to protect air, water, land from pollution. We have to provide our people clean water, air, energy. This is the right to life. Everyone has to be given this. Like solar energy we can use, wind energy we can use, geothermal energy we can exploit. So we need to be good, responsible citizen, as sustainable development was given by Brundtland. So we need to become a good person, good citizen, and a very, very educated, environmentally aware kind of citizen, so that we can protect our environment, because we are living in this environment. So if you want your kids to live LIVE, then leave something for them. So there was a meeting held in New York, United Nations, and it was in 2015. So 17 SDGs were formulated. And these SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, were affecting each and every part or aspect of everyone's life, either developed, underdeveloped, or developing countries. The main thing is, every single citizen should be given a quality life. Quality education. For any kind of development, forget about sustainable development. I'm saying any kind of development or any kind of emancipation. We need education. Even if you are making food, the spices have to be cooked properly. That is the education a person has to get so that he can make food. So if you want to be, or if you want to make responsible citizen, you have to give them, or we have to get a quality education. Children who have gone to school, they are much more aware. So education helps us to become a responsible citizen. For example, we have, say, teachers who are not teaching properly, or we don't have proper classrooms, or we are not even giving the basic quality education. We are just thriving that you learn this thing, mug up and give exam. We are not thinking that a practical kind of education is important, because we have to make them as a good citizen, not as just knowing everything. So the educated individuals or kids, they will use the facilities present in their areas. They are aware of the facilities which can be exploited. They will be taught like that. So they will take their friends to their schools. Okay, let's go to school. They will help their friends in study also. If you're not getting it, okay, I'll teach you like this. And if somebody doesn't want to go to school, dropping out of the school, you can convince them. Next thing comes is clean water and sanitation. Clean water. Most of the diseases are waterborne. Waterborne diseases are so many. And then human excreta, toilet and bathroom and all these, urine. So all these are carrying diseases, germs. For example, typhoid. Every second person might have got this typhoid. This is just because of water. So all this open defecation or open excreta, human excreta, which is going on in the society, especially in the rural areas, this needs to be stopped. This is especially happening in developing and underdeveloped country. But still, if people are given toilets, if people are being given exposure to what are the harmful effects of all this open defecation and all these germs and can affect us. So we need to make them aware. We have to create awareness towards this sanitation, not only in India, but everywhere. And one more thing is, because we are a developing country, industrial pollution is a bigger problem, which is polluting the water resource also. Every pollutant goes to water, it settles in the water, and finally it comes to our food chain, and we are having it. Right? If we don't have this kind of attitude, we will not be having water. See, this kind of water we will be forced to drink. Will you be able to drink this kind of water if we are doing this? You don't want your kids to drink this water. So we need to promote this awareness. We have to let everyone know that first thing, First World War, Second World War. Now the people are saying the Third World War. will be on water. Affordable and clean energy. So the energy we are using mostly is coming from petroleum, diesel, natural gas, coal. So the important thing is we need to understand that we should use those energy sources which are clean, like solar power, not polluting. So if you burn coal, mostly electricity is generated by coal. So coal, once you burn, it is not going to come back again so easily. So this comes under the category of non-renewable fuel, non-renewable resources. So we need to put all the effort to increase the solar power generation. That is, I'm saying the renewable sources of energy. Because of this solar energy, wind energy, geothermal energy, we are producing energy also. Our energy needs are also met. And at the same time, we are not polluting the environment. You can also use biogas. Biogas means all the excreta, all the waste, just mix it. There is some anaerobic digester, or you can say microorganisms will work on it. And finally, there will be a gas produced. And this gas can be used for various purposes, especially for making food as an alternative of LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. So this is eco-friendly alternative to the natural gas. All these coming from petroleum products, we have to start using it as low as possible. So affordable and clean energy, this is very important for sustainable development. Decent work and economic growth. So what happens here is, when we are born, when we start going to school, our parents say, please study good, get good marks so that you can get a good job. If you have good job, you'll have good salary, you'll have good quality of life, you'll have good wife, kids. So when you study, you find a good job. This is how the circle of life goes. So you take care of yourself, you take care of the family. That is, you have to have knowledge of each and every subject. And when you are aware, you have good exposure, you can take care of everyone and you can work hard. And that is how you can contribute to the society. That is, you have to develop certain skill and job and that kind of work you have to do, so that when you die or you go away from this earth, you have given something back to the society. Your name is known. Just living, eating, creating kids and dying is not what we want. We need decent work, economic growth, growth for everyone, sustainable growth, not only for the community, but also for the society, your family, and yourself. Inequalities, reducing the inequalities. So what happens here? Your kid, your smaller, brother, or your small sister, you always try to dominate them. Have you seen that? This is kind of inequality. Normally in the developing countries, what will happen? The parent will say, you are a boy, you can do this, you are a girl, you cannot do this. So this is a kind of inequality. They'll say, girl, go marry, create child, and just over. Man has to take care of us. This is an inequality. So in order to reduce inequality, what does it mean? First of all, you just don't think people are different. They are different by caste, creed, color, but they are human beings. Help one another. Be friendly. Try to include everyone. Even if you are working and playing, you have seen the politicians in different countries. They are talking about religion, and that is how they divide people and they rule. And because we are very naive people, we just flow in that emotions. So you have to include everyone. People have fed into your mind that this is black, this is white, this is Muslim, this Muslim people are not good, or this lower caste are not good. This has been fed to you for generations. Now your generation has to learn this. You have to come out of this. Everyone's small, big, girl, boy, black, white, brown. No racism. You have to include everyone. No inequalities whatsoever. Say no to racism. Say no to inequalities. For example, in India, if you go up, you will find Kashmiris. They are all white. If you go to southern India, that is Tamil Nadu, because it is very near to equator, they are black complexion. But if the black are started complaining about white and vice versa, how a country will grow? You see, northeastern people, they look differently. And people in India, they also treat them differently. This is so bad. We all are Indians. We all belong to a community called India community. Creating sustainable cities. See, we started with village. We made them town, and now we are in cities. We have super cities, we have metros, everything we have. But we are using power, we are using energy, we are consuming things which will not be sustainable after some time. So these cities need to be sustainable. We have to save energy. How to save energy? Wherever you can start by yourself. If you leave your room and your light and fan are still on, switch them off. Especially the fans, because they have motors, air condition, all of these things which have motors, they take huge amount of electricity, right? So this is your personal responsibility as a citizen to make your city sustainable. Try to use natural light. I'll give you an example of my home. I have to keep light every time, because the house nearby me is 2-3 stories, so I don't get light. So light fan is required every time for me. So I'm not getting the natural light. I'm not getting the vitamin D. I'm having, my eyes are also having problems. So because of these problems, we have to make cities which are not like that. And then we need energy efficient light, LED bulbs, air conditions are 5-star, 4-star, 6-star. These are energy efficient appliances. It can be a microwave, it can be anything. So we need all devices or in the society, in the economy, that are not power hungry, that use the renewable sources of energy. Every one of us are consumers. Basically, we are consumers only. And there are people who are producers. I want food, I want iPhone, I want bike, I want a good life, I want booze, I want destination. Everywhere we are consumers. And there are people who are producing it also. So the basic thing is, being a consumer or a producer, we need to be very responsible, because being a consumer and a producer, because somebody is consumer, somebody is producer. So we need to be responsible for our environment. Nobody is saying that don't do this thing or that thing, but just behave responsibility, because environment is your responsibility as a human being, as a citizen. What you have to do? Reduce paper, glass, plastic, water. Paper, you have to cut tree for paper. Glass, when it breaks, it can hurt everyone, even the organisms, the microorganisms, and the animals, etc. Plastic, once you throw it, it will remain for generations to come. Water is so scarce. In 100% water is available on this globe, only 0.3 is there for drinking. From where you are going to get this? You'll see drought every time. Whenever you go to market to buy any fruit or vegetable, take a cloth bag, take a jute bag. Means always take a biodegradable kind of stuff that is friendly for the environment. Whatever is remaining with you, cloth, book, furniture, food, donate it. Don't throw it, don't waste it. Donate it to the people, because people need it. Whatever fruit and vegetable you are eating, buy it seasonally. That is, the local growers, whatever they are making. Use the fruit and vegetable that comes in that particular season, not the refrigerated ones. If the tap is leaking, we don't even give any airs to that. Taps are leaking, pipes are broken, water is wasting. Everywhere there is a wastage of water, energy, and we are not even thinking about that. Try to sort and treat garbage before you dispose it. Dispose it like a waste like the wet and dry. Whatever is coming out of your kitchen is waste. Whatever you're coming out of that is dry. So make it biodegradable, non-biodegradable like of this, so that it can be disposed easily. Everything is seen above water. But what about life below water? There is a huge seashore in every country, almost every country. So this seashore or sea life, or the people who are living, are dependent on this aquatic life, marine life, sea life, ocean life. So whenever you throw a dust or throw some junk, it will be there somewhere. Plastic, people of Western country or the countries, Western countries, they are dumping the waste in Indonesia, in Thailand, in India, so many places. So we are now the garbage hub. But this is going inside water. So tons of plastic, they are killing the marine life. The marine life is so beautiful. They don't speak, they don't have anything to harm us. But we are harming them. We are harming them because we want development, we want some ecstasy, we are just not responsible. We are polluting the environment, we are polluting the water, we are not preserving the marine life, though most of us are dependent on this marine life. We are, some of the people, they only live on seafood. Life on land. Land is very important because land is where you make a house, you grow your trees. So tree does a lot of work. If you understand what is tree, you will start respecting them. First of all, it gives you pure oxygen, O2. This is the life breathe it is giving. You are getting vegetable, you are getting raisin, you are getting fruit, you are getting the vegetable products, you are getting crop, fertilizer, and then you can use this wood for the furniture and the paper. And when the strong winds come or some avalanche or some kind of natural calamity, these trees are responsible to stop them. So water and air, they are responsible for the soil erosion, that is the top layer of the soil is eroded by this fast flowing water and this air, wind. So when you cut the tree, the upper layer is depleted. Now it is unusable for cultivation now because it has no vegetation, this nutritive power for vegetation. So now you need to plant more. I'm saying don't cut, just plant tree. Wherever you find place, plant a tree. This is important for the sustainable development. Because if you want your kids to live, I always say that. If you want your kids to live, then leave things for them. Leave something for them. Now coming to question and answer, which of the following sources of energy is from a renewable source? Renewable. So there are renewable sources, non-renewable sources. Those which you use and will come back, they are renewable. There are resources which you use, it will never come back, or it will come after millions of years. So which of these answer is? So answer is solar energy. Okay, this is a renewable source because wood, coal, petrol, they are non-renewable. Once you consume them, they are not going to return back, or even if they return, it will take millions of years. Choose the options which is not SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. 17 SDGs were there from United Nations. The answer is population, because clean water, sanitation, gender equality, reduce inequalities were there. Population was not there. Population is taken care by the countries by themselves, because China made that one kid, then two kids, then one kid. Now they only have old people. Similar is with the Western countries. They are not producing kids, and if you don't get children, who is going to keep this world alive? So nobody is making more than two kids now. List some ways in which we can use a resource sensibly. So as a responsible citizen, as a responsible individual, all the resources are there. But the only thing which we want, everyone want, or this Mother Earth want, is to use them intelligently. Reuse paper, glass, plastic, water. Always reuse, recycle, and then don't use it. Why to use paper? Everything is electronic now. Plastic, you can use jute, you can use cloth bag. There are so many alternatives there. Whenever you go to the market to buy fruits and vegetables, always take cloth bag or jute bag or any kind of biodegradable kind of bag, because ultimately you're going to throw it after some time. Whatever cloth, books, furniture, food you have, donate those to those who are needy. Always eat and buy those fruit and vegetable which are seasonal at that season and locally grown. Those are in freezer is not good. Wherever you see tap leaking or energy not being conserved or pipes leaking or water is wasting, repair it. Always dispose the garbage in an intelligent way, in an environmental friendly way. This is what is important. Explain the importance of education on sustainable development. Now, if you're as a kid, your mother father says something like the tradition, the culture, the language, you remember everything. You know everything now. But when you come to internet, if you're grown up, you say all the bad words. You do that. When you are with your friends, you do all the bad things. So if you are in your early life, you are being taught properly, practically, or say theoretical also, you will become a good citizen. Education is important because it will make you a good sustainable development individual. Children who go to school, they are able to fetch good jobs. They can take care of themselves. They can take care of the family. And this will make you a better responsible citizen. So you will use the facility which is present in your area. You are aware of that because you are educated. You can exploit them, use them. You can take your friends to school. You can help your friends to study. And also if somebody is dropping out, you can always say them, let's come to school. Education is important for sustainable development. Okay, this is all about this discussion. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.